Hello and welcome. My name is Aaron Russo, and I am an analyst here at Duff Phelps. I'm part of the team that created the Cost of Capital Navigator. The Cost of Capital Navigator is an online platform that guides the analyst through the process of estimating cost of capital, a key component to any valuation analysis. The objective of this video is to demonstrate to users of the Cost of Capital Navigator how to estimate cost of equity capital for a small subject company using the build-up to method in the risk premium report study. After logging in, I get to the dashboard of the Cost of Capital Navigator where I can start a new estimate. This is how I will access all of the data I need to estimate cost of equity for my subject company. So I'll go ahead and click on the New Estimate button, and the first thing I need to do is name my estimate. The name of our subject company is Waltz Electronics. Now I can click Save and Continue. After naming my estimate, I get to Step 1, General Inputs. The first thing I need is my valuation date. We use March 31st, 2016 for this estimate. The next two items are the home country and the investee country. I'll go ahead and leave these at the United States since I only want to use US data. The next thing I need is my subject company's industry. This is an electronics company, so I can search for an industry by typing in a keyword like electronic, or if I know the SIC code I want to use, I can go ahead and type that in. For this example, let's use SIC 36, electronic and other electrical equipment. Now I can click Save and Continue. Next, I arrive at Step 2, Cost of Capital Equations, where I will be able to select the Risk Premium Report Study and then go to the Build-Up To method. The Risk Premium Report Build-Up To equation is the cost of equity equals a risk-free rate plus an equity risk premium plus an industry risk premium, plus a size premium. Note that the build-up to equation in the risk premium report study is the same equation as the build-up method in the CRSP decile size study. Here I can see 8 different equations for each of the 8 size measures I can use to estimate size premia for my subject company using the risk premium report study. For instance, market value of common equity, book value of equity, 5-year average net income, etc. Let's go ahead and start with the market value of common equity equation. The way I modify the equation is I hover over the variable I want to edit and then I click the Edit button. I'll start with the risk-free rate. Here in the input box, I could type in a custom risk-free rate of say 3%, or I could choose one of the off-the-shelf items the Navigator has for me in the drop-down here. So I'll click into the drop-down, and here I could select the Duff Phelps normalized risk-free rate or the spot 20-year treasury yield as of our valuation date. For this example, let's use the spot 20-year treasury yield of 2.2%. So I'll click on that, and then I can click Save. The next thing I need is the equity risk premium. So I'll hover over and click Edit. In the input box, I could type in a custom ERP of say 5%, or I could choose one of the options from the dropdown. Since I'm using the spot risk-free rate, I could choose the historical long-term 1926 to present ERP or the supply side ERP. If I wanted to use the Duff Phelps recommended ERP, I would have to change my risk-free rate to the Duff Phelps normalized risk-free rate, since the Duff Phelps ERP and risk-free rate are developed to be used together. Let's go ahead and use the historical long-term ERP of 6.9%. The next thing I need is an industry risk premium. The Navigator is going to ask me for an industry beta. An industry risk premium is calculated as an industry beta times the ERP that I've selected, in this case the historical ERP of 6.9%, minus the ERP that I'm using. I could type in a custom beta of say 1.2, or I could select from the drop-down the SIC 36 median sum beta of 1.28. For this example, let's use the median sum beta to develop our industry risk premium. Once I select the beta, the Cost of Capital Navigator automatically calculates the industry risk premium for us, which in this case comes out to 1.93%. The last thing we need to complete our risk premium report build-up to equation based on market value of common equity is the size premium. Remember that the risk premium report study calculates size premia and risk premia for 25 portfolios ranked by 8 different measures of size, with Portfolio 1 comprising the largest companies and Portfolio 25 comprising the smallest companies. For this equation, the size premium is going to be based off of market cap. So the Navigator is going to ask me for a market cap for our subject company. Let's say we estimate our subject company's market cap to be around 12 million. So I type in 12 for 12 million, and the Navigator will automatically map me to the appropriate portfolio in the risk premium report study. Now I can click Save. Here we can see that the Navigator placed us in Portfolio 25 based on our market cap entry of 12 million, and that any market cap entry below 284 million would have placed us in this same portfolio. We've now calculated cost of equity for Waltz Electronics using the risk premium report study build-up to method with market cap as our size measure. In this case, our cost of equity came out to 17.44%. Notice that all of my input selections are labeled underneath the values. For example, I used the spot 20-year treasury yield for the risk-free rate and the historical long-term equity risk premium. In our initial cost of equity estimate here, we used market value of common equity, or market cap, as our size measure. Now I can do the same thing, but calculate cost of equity using book value of equity as my size measure to estimate size premia. All of the inputs I used in the market cap equation have flowed through to the book value of equity equation. All I need to complete this equation is the size premium. So I hover over the size premium in this line and click Edit and enter in my subject company's book value of equity, which let's say is around 10 million. Now I can do the same thing for the 6 remaining size measures. You don't have to use all measures of size available in the risk premium report study, but the more you use, the better range of estimates you'll get. We've now calculated cost of equity for our subject company using all 8 measures of size available in the risk premium report study. To get our size premia, we're currently using what's called the Guideline portfolio method, where the Navigator automatically maps us to the portfolio whose average size most closely matches that of our subject company. Another way to estimate size premia and risk premia in the risk premium report study is something called the regression equation method, which enables us to calculate interpolated size premia and risk premia based on our direct size measure input. To see what my cost of equity results would look like using the regression equation method, I could duplicate these equations by using the duplicate button here. Now in the second scenario, I could toggle on the regression equation method by using this button. The Navigator has now recalculated all of my size premia based on the regression equation method, and it displays the regression equations below. The decision to use the Guideline portfolio method or the regression equation method in the risk premium report study is up to the analyst and based on the circumstances of the valuation. If you are using the regression equation method and your subject company is much smaller than the smallest company in Portfolio 25, we recommend that you disclose this information in your support documents. Now I could continue on to use other methods and data sources to calculate cost of equity capital, or I could scroll down and click Finish Now to view my results and export them to PDF or to Excel. Thank you for watching this video on using the Cost of Capital Navigator to estimate cost of equity capital using the Risk Premium Report Study Build-Up To method.